Hello everybody and welcome on in here to our user group webinar. We're going to be talking about the payroll module today and specifically how to use the calculate bonus payment function there in the payroll program. Going to be a quick topic today. Should be maybe about 10 minutes to run through it here. Before we get started, you should have a GoToWebinar control panel there on your screen. Has a little red arrow button in the upper left-hand corner usually that you can click that allows you to either minimize or maximize that GoToWebinar control panel. Minimizing it gives you a little more room on your monitor there to see the stuff that we're going to be talking about here today. Maximizing it gives you access to the functions there in the control panel, including the questions section there. I will be unlikely to get to any questions as we're going through our presentation here today, but I will leave the room open afterwards for any questions that you might have specifically about the bonus payment portion of the payroll program. So welcome on in here. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are running payroll version 2017 SR3 here in our presentation here today. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about is oftentimes an organization, a church, will want to give employees a bonus at the end of the year. Church Windows Payroll has a method of issuing these bonuses. The cool thing that the calculate bonus payment function does for you is it lets you do what's called a gross up total. And what that does is it allows you to put the amount that you want to appear on their bonus check, and it's going to calculate what that gross total would be so that what the employee ends up receiving is the right amount. So it'll do Social Security and Medicare withdrawals that has to happen automatically from any check that you issue. And it does the calculations for you so that you can get that check to be an even amount. Getting access to, now the other thing I want to say about this is this would be in addition to any regular calculated payrolls that you would run for your employees. And this also is where you would issue an additional check outside of a regular payroll. If you wanted to put any kind of bonus payment in with a regular payroll, if you're calculating a normal payroll, this isn't the bonus payment section of the program that we're going to cover here in our webinar here today. But just really quickly, rolling a bonus payment and a bonus into a regular pay, can be done by using the additional box right here. If you're going in and calculating a regular pay on their regular checks that they receive, one way that you can include a bonus payment is to just put an additional amount here in the additional box as you're calculating payroll here on the Calculate Payroll 3 window. That does not give you the opportunity to do that gross up amount. They get the full bonus regardless of any taxation on it. So that would be one way of doing it. Some folks do it that way. But what we want to talk about here today is using this function, right here called calculate bonus payment. This third one down on the list here under your payroll menu. So if we click on here, it's going to end up looking an awful lot like when you do your regular calculate payroll. So the calculate bonus payment 1 window right here is where you set the payment date. So whatever the date on the check is going to be set right here. Whatever's appropriate there. The calculate bonus payment 2 window here is where you determine which employees are going to receive the bonus payments. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can filter in a number of ways under this all employees contractors setting right here, whether it be only your hourly employees or only your salaried employees, only a particular pay period type you can select down here, or even by department. Okay, so you can only calculate pay by for a particular department here under all employees and contractors. If you select the specific employee contractor radio dot there, now you can just pick which individual employees you're going to calculate that bonus payment for here. I'm just going to go ahead and calculate for Jimmy here. Larry is our pastor, so the gross up amount doesn't really apply for him. So I'm going to go ahead and select Jimmy. I'm clicking next on here. Now this is where it takes you to the calculate bonus payment 3. Now there are two different ways of calculating this payment here. The first one is the one I was just talking about, which is that gross up income right here. It is going to be the amount that they receive on their check after having Social Security and Medicare withdrawn. Notice this little box over here at the end, do not use for employees subject to the Medicare surtax. That's for folks with salaries of $200,000 or more. If you roll your mouse over that, it'll give you a little tooltip under there. Medicare withholding for annual gross taxable amounts greater than $200,000 does not include this surtax. So you don't want to use this if any of your employees make that much money. That's the one, this gross up income is the one we're going to be doing for our presentation here today. The other one is the standard withholding. You can select that one as well, and that's going to use the regular tax tables for however the employee is marked under the employee file. Whatever types of federal or state tax withholdings you have them set up, this is going to calculate it from there. So I'm going to use this gross up income option right here. I'm going to write a $100 bonus check here for Jimmy. When you click next, these are gonna end up looking a heck of a lot like all of your regular calculate payroll screens. On this one here, you can run any number of your reports. We're gonna run our taxable earnings report so we can see what's kind of going on here. You can also use this button down here at the bottom where it says browse calculations. And this is gonna show you all the kind of the nuts and bolts of what we're looking at here. Notice the total gross taxable amount of this check is going to be $108.28. It's not withholding any federal or any state taxes on here, but you'll see $6.71 in Social Security, $1.57 in Medicare on here. So, assuming, because of the way those amounts calculate out, their net pay is going to end up being $100, as you see up here in the upper right-hand corner. But their gross taxable is going to be calculated based on the way those taxes come out. This stuff can all be adjusted on here if you see fit, but kind of goes against the point of using this part of the program because it does all those calculations for you. From here, clicking on next takes you to any of the reports that you selected there. Here is our taxable earnings detail report. Maximize that here. Up here at the top, it shows you the date of the payment that you're issuing. Shows you right here that as of the time of this report being printed, that it had not yet been posted. But it's going to show a list of all of your employees. If there's more than one, it'll show them down this list here. Earnings without allowances, et cetera, all of the withholding, all of the taxable earnings on this screen here. So 108.28 total taxable on there. Okay. Clicking on print, it'll print your report for you. Oops, wrong button. Once you're out of there, I needed to actually print that to allow me out of there. My mistake. Sorry about that. Let me get back to that screen again real quick. Go ahead and calculate Jimmy's again. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and not print any of those. But when you click Next, it's going to take you to the Calculate Bonus Payment 6 screen. I'm giving you the date of the payment that you're calculating here, whether you're going to post it to payroll or not. And then it can take you directly to the print checks window from here. Anybody who has been marked as an electronic file transfer, it would be able to do that for you as well and be able to print you a stub basically for the folks who receive EFT. So all you do to complete the bonus payment here is click Finish on here. Bonus pay calculations posted to the employee file successfully. Clicking OK then takes you to your regular check printing window, and you do that the way you normally do when you are calculating your payroll in the system here. Entering your starting check number there, hitting the tab key on your keyboard will assign it the check numbers down through here. Clicking on, if you want to put a memo on here, you would put a check mark here where it says Show Memo Field on Check. You put a little memo on the check from there. Clicking on Next takes you to your check printing window. Clicking on Print right here will print that for you. And then once it's done, it takes you to this screen here. Clicking on Finish, and you are done. You've got your bonus payments calculated there. And that is all there is to that, folks. It's functionally the same as calculating payroll in the payroll program. The only real difference being that it adds that ability to do that gross up amount as we just demonstrated in there. So that's all I've got for you folks here today. I told you it'd be a quick one. If you're all set to get on with your day, feel free to click on the X in the upper right-hand corner of your GoToWebinar control panel there. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. If anyone has any questions, I'll leave the room open for a little bit if you want to type in any questions there. So thanks for joining me here, everybody.